Welcome to the Living Artist Podcast. I'm your host, Preston M. Smith. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Living Artist Podcast. I'm Preston M. Smith, at PMS Artwork everywhere on internet land and socials. I want to thank you for landing on this podcast. Whether you're a professional artist, just getting started in the art world, a collector of art, or just consider yourself a creative person, this podcast has something for you. I like to think of it as a fun way to rant and talk to other creative people about living the life of an artist, surviving and getting ahead in the art world, and enjoying your life. But most importantly, not waiting until you're dead to make it happen. All right, let's get started.
What? Wait, do it now? Okay. Saddle up, sucker!
Yeah. All right. Get ready for the matchup.
It's a mashup, motherfuckers! Wait, what? Alright. I don't know how we're gonna follow that, but enjoy the mashup, everybody.
I have a funny story about some recent haters, right?
Well, yeah, I have not had any experience really with people hating my artwork, and letting me know about it so directly.
Right.
As I did recently, about, a week or so ago. I posted some things on an Instagram curatorial feed.
Mm-hmm.
And, at first I was pretty shocked.
Wait, this was on Instagram?
Yeah.
Wow, that's normally like the most polite social media resource. Anyway, keep going. Sorry.
So, I got a lot of, nice comments too, but I didn't even know that all this vitriolic stuff was coming in. My son sent me something and he goes, "You better look at this."
Oh my God.
I went, "What?" So I'll just read you.
This is great. Okay.
Read you some of the things that were said. This is disgusting work, and posting work like this is exactly part of the problem.
Uh-huh.
The work is ugly. Art is for inspiration, not to vomit one's mental illness on the public.
Whoa.
Oh my God, Debbie, get a life. And by life, I mean get a sex life.
Hello.
Someone put icons of people throwing up.
Really?
Yeah, thumbs down. It hurts to look at. No aesthetic or commentary value. It burns my eyes.
Wait, these are all separate people?
No, well, there's a couple that kind of came after me.
Yeah. That's what typically happens. Okay.
Low class. This is not art. And then my favorite one, I think, is Ms. Corbell. I feel like I just got called into the principal's office.
Right.
Clearly has no understanding of the male genitalia and is clearly misrepresenting it, depicting it in quotes. Has to be done by someone with more experience and knowledge. So,
wow.
Even putting some of these on my website because
you got to do it. Oh my God, that's horrible. It's funny because obviously these people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I think the person who was saying about the genitalia, I think we know what happened there. You hit a little too close to home.
Well, that was a funny thing. It's like, well, I've had 2 kids. I must have seen something.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an interesting experience, and I was surprised. Usually, you think you just scroll past something if you're not interested or whatever. But no, this was, definitely ruffled some feathers.
I think I probably can't remember every single failure because I've had so many. But I never looked at failures as failures. I've always looked at them as opportunities to learn from them. One of the things that I don't know, I've just been blessed and some people say it's just being smart, but I've avoided a lot of negative situations just by doing something when the time presented itself. Mm-hmm. So, I believe in the, if the door opens, just walk in, that's happened to me so many times, you know, that I don't know how I've been lucky enough that those doors that opened led me to good places. But I guess I just have a lot of faith and trust in like, kind of like, if I'm doing good things, the universe is going to reciprocate. And like, you know, I just got to be aware, you know, because there's a lot of people who say no to things that
people
they should
can't
have said
see
yes
me
to.
nodding on the podcast, but I'm like,
Yeah.
yes. Yep.
Yeah. Because sometimes like I've seen artists who had tremendous opportunities thrown their way and they blow it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they self-sabotage it, or they just decide that that's not for them or whatever. And then down the road, they regret it for the rest of their lives, because then they realize like, wow, I should have done that. And for me, I've had the exact opposite experience. It's like I every time I see something open up for me, I take it and I'm like so grateful for it. And then that leads to something better and bigger. And then it kind of goes that way. So when I do fail, it's almost like, it just feels like part of that journey. It doesn't feel like, oh, that's it, it's over, I'm done. No, it just feels like, oh, okay, that's, you know. Another thing that I didn't mention on this whole podcast is that I played soccer my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And I played all the way to semi-pro.
I think you mean football.
So, yeah, football. Is the way I put it.
Yeah.
And so,
really? Semi-pro?
Yeah, at LMU,
Oh, wow.
I played Division I soccer at LMU.
Oh, wow.
The 4 years I was there. And then after that, I ended up playing semi-pro, because the MLS, the Pro Soccer League in the States, didn't start till 95.
Yeah.
So
it's garbage until, recently.
So I missed like any opportunity. Like now, if I would have been playing now, I would have definitely at least tried out for a pro team. But my point is, having played soccer is you fail like all the time. Right.
Oh, yeah.
And I was a goalkeeper. So like, of course I got scored on. I got scored on a lot.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the only way you learn and get better, is by getting scored on. But just because you get scored on doesn't make you a failure. Right.
Well, if you looked at it that way, you would stop playing. Like, if somebody scored on you, you'd be like, I'm done.
Yeah.
You know?
One professional player said one time that you don't even start being a goalkeeper until you get 100 goals scored on you, you know?
Yes.
And so
that's kind of like the art thing we were talking about earlier. Yeah.
Yeah. So given that, I think that parallel, I've taken that to heart, like in my career. It's like playing sports to me. You're going to have, you know, people are going to score on you. And you got to get up, dust yourself off, and get ready for the next play. And that's how I've looked at all these things in my career. So, you know, I don't know if I'm saying that I don't feel like I'm a failure, or that I've had so many that I forgot. But either way, to me, it's just part of the journey. And you have to embrace the good, the bad, the ugly. It's, you know, obviously people now with Instagram and everything is just beautiful. And
everything's beautiful.
People just think like, oh my God, you're living the life. You're an artist. You just wake up and paint.
The highlight reel. It's the highlight reel.
Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, it takes a little more than that. But,
oh my God.
But yeah, I think, you know, I've been fortunate not to have any, you know, and I've had some health issues, happen to me in the past. And, and even those I don't look at as failures. It's just like, okay, that was something that you just need to overcome and get to the next stage and work harder and whatever, smarter.
So responsibility probably is really, in a nutshell, is what we're really rapping about. You know what I mean? If you're being an artist, you got to be responsible for yourself and what actions you take in order to be either a good artist or a bad one, or, you know, you want to be a one-shot deal. You want to be Bansky, an unknown but known, which is some crazy shit to me. No offense to whoever the dude is, but like, I wish I could have pulled that shit off, you know? But I know I couldn't, especially with my physical condition. But the point is, for someone to claim an anonymity and still have a career, and you have African Americans out here that could barely even, like, you know, walk into a place without having a nervous breakdown, there's a problem.
Man. Definitely. Well, you first sparked me on this because I was listening to a different interview you did, and it got me thinking because, you know, everybody knows Basquiat, you know, and it was almost like placating us a little bit. It was like, okay, we got Basquiat. Well, you know, you started telling me, well, there aren't that many African Americans artists that you can even name. And I started to think about it, and I was like, oh my, you're right. I was like Delaney. Maybe I couldn't come up with a handful.
Oh yeah, there's you know what I mean. Delaney, right? Briefly Delaney. Norman Lewis. I was in a show with some of these big guys, man. There's a guy in Trenton, New Jersey. He's the largest collector of African-American art in the world. Most people don't know. They don't know. I know him. I met him through my dad and all this. And most people in Trenton itself don't know it because he doesn't disclose it because he's such a sneaky. He's like a stealthy business art guy who I have a few pieces in his collection, thank God. But he has the largest collection of African-American art in the world. Has not even revealed it to the world yet. I somehow wish I can get involved in that deal at some later on point in the future. But
you just got to pull some more Keith Haring, Patty Astor stuff. Just get.
Well, I know where to direct the collection to. I know whose eyes. I know whose eyes would like to see it and all this stuff. Because again, we're on this African American train right now.
Right.
So anyway, Buford Delaney, all these guys, Norman Lewis, they're getting a lot of paper right now. But the problem with that is, these guys are 70, 80, 90, near death, we'll say.
Right. Or dead.
Or dead. Mm-hmm. So Frank Boland now, the guy from England, he's got some, I like Frank Boland. He's the English guy he's hot in the news right now. He's probably about 75, something like that. But these artists,
I want to be hot at 75.
Yeah, I want to be hot at 75. I wanted to be hot at 22.
Right. Yeah, right.
I want to be hot now. If I do get hot, I'm not going to say them. If something happens, greater than what it already has, unfortunately, I can't go with the art, which the virtual world now works for me quite well. All I have to do is just look good, behind the screen or something like Max Headroom. So,
Max Headroom.
Yeah, but don't stutter. Again, remember I told you about being able to enunciate.
Along the way, a lot of just challenging relationships, with people in my life that I think have pushed me to be better, do better. And then obviously the fertility journey, going through all of that and having, the 2 failed pregnancies and then coming to the end and realizing that, I couldn't, there just wasn't a way for me to achieve being able to have a family in the way that I had wanted to. So there have been many, many challenges along the way that have pushed me to be better, to do better, to kind of, get myself into a different mindset.
Yeah. And almost like redefine.
Yeah. And so the other interesting thing for me too, is I am someone who, if you tell me I can't do something, or that I shouldn't do something, I will revolt.
Yeah. A good trait to have when you're an artist.
Yeah. And I've had a lot of that along the way too. Just really, I feel like I've always sort of had people underestimate me. And I think some of that is due to the fact that I've always been more on the quiet, shy side. Mm-hmm. And growing up, I was incredibly introverted and, just didn't really use my voice. And, people interpreted that in many ways. There were people that thought I was shy. There were people that thought I was stuck up. There were people that thought all sorts of things. And so I think
which are all their own projections upon you, by the way.
Yeah. And I just really never put myself out there, even in my career, just kind of, I mentioned that I struggled to kind of get to that next level. And there were a lot of times where just insecurities and feeling like, my voice either wouldn't be heard or wouldn't be important. I held back in a lot of ways. And so people would underestimate sort of my powers, my superpowers. And then I still to this day, things have definitely evolved for me over time. And I would say I'm the most extroverted and vocal that I've ever been in my entire life, which is fantastic. I feel like I've finally come to a place where I'm comfortable with myself and I don't really care. If people don't like an idea or, don't like something about me. And so it's a good place to be. But yeah, for a long time, I really struggled with so many things in terms of just having a voice. And still to this day, I have people who've known me my whole life that say, oh, wow, you're doing that. That doesn't sound like you, or that doesn't sound like something you would do. Or they discover that, I do this or I do that. And, oh, I never knew that you did that. So, so it's really interesting. And I think I continue to surprise people just because there just is a lot that I've never really talked about or put out there. Mm-hmm. And so people don't really have an understanding of some of the challenges or some of the things that I've gone through in my life until now. That's
beautiful. And I think it comes with age a little bit, but also you've had such an interesting life and a set of challenges, but you get to a certain stage where it's like, you kind of realize that what am I waiting for? Or what am I, why am I holding back?
Holding back. Exactly.
Right. You're not hurting anybody but yourself. Right. I think for me, one of the biggest things that I've discovered is I just won't waste my time anymore.
Right.
I used to waste my time. I was a big people pleaser. Yep. And I had a lot of different relationships that kind of hung on because of that. And now it's just you know what? Some of it's just practical, but also it's just, I just have started to realize what's really, truly important in my life. And now I just go, nope, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you're kind of on a similar path right now.
Yeah. And it's been it's just kind of been I feel like that's been a slow transition for me, but I'll tell you that in this last year, mm-hmm. that's definitely been the theme for me for 2020. And I know that obviously we're all dealing with, COVID and the challenges around that. But this year, we've had some other things going on with my husband's health, and it's been an exhausting year. So again, being in a place where I don't have the time or the energy to, like you said, be a people pleaser. And I've spent a lot of my life being a people pleaser. And like you said, hanging on to relationships or certain things. And, I just don't have it in me anymore to do that. So,
well, that's maturity, but it also sounds like for you, it's practical. It's the only thing you can do. I mean, you only have so much time now, right? And so much energy.
Capacity. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Shut up, David.
Yeah, shut up. Yeah. Are you threatening me?
This episode sucks.
Yeah, sucks. Yeah, this episode sucks.
Yeah, had to go way back, deep into the vault for that one. Channel my inner Beavis and Butthead. Needed to bring the fire aspect of it.
Fire, yeah, fire.
Because today we're going to talk about building a bonfire in your mind and using all of that anger that we accumulate as human beings and especially as artists, because our path is not easy. And I've talked about all the good things. I've talked about abundance. I've talked about gratitude. I've talked about positivity, visualization, meditation, all of that wonderful stuff. And it's all great. But today we are going to give anger its day in court. This came up for me because I've realized recently that I've been holding on to a lot of anger and having a lot of it build up inside. And it reminded me of when I was starting out as an artist. I had so much anger and emotions that I couldn't really process. And it was fuel. It was fuel to really launch me into this path and to get the creation, to start developing a body of work and to start getting out there into the gallery system, showing my work and saying, oh, to all you who doubted me, all of you who put blocks in front of me, in my way, in my path, which were very, very many, fuck you. I'm going to use all that anger and I'm going to use it to propel me forward. It reminds me of a line that I saw from Billions recently, the character of Taylor, and how they say using anger because nothing burns so clean, something to that effect. And I completely agree with that. Anger is a renewable resource for us as artists and something that we can constantly use because, look, it's not easy being an artist. You're told no a lot. You're second guessed a lot. You might not get support from your peers, from your family. You're definitely not going to get support from the art world for a long time. And all of that fosters a lot of anger. And the only thing that you can do, instead of letting that eat you alive from the inside, is use it as fuel, throw it on the fire, burn it clean, and start getting out there and getting to work.
It's a mashup, motherfuckers.
This has been the Living Artist Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I just want you to know that I appreciate you being here, and I'm grateful to be in your ears. Your art and creative life on this planet is meaningful, so thank you for sharing it with me. If you like this podcast, whatever platform you're listening to it on, please subscribe and share it with your friends. You can also leave me a positive review to show your support. This helps me to reach more people with the algorithmic magic and keep the show going strong. If you want to see more of what I do and check out the art that I create, you can visit my website at www.pmsartwork.com or follow me on social media everywhere at PMS Artwork. That's it for now. See you back here next time.